Yes, it's brought to you in part by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. By FanDuel, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. And by Optimum Fiber, get Optimum, the fastest fiber internet. Don't take slow. For an answer, happy birthday to Alex Rodriguez. He turns 50 today, and welcome to Ahmed Rosario. He's at the baggage claim at the airport about an hour and a half ago, so he's made his way into the Yankee dugout, saying hello to his new teammates, wearing number 14. And he can help this team, Joe.
Oh, I think he gives Aaron Boone a lot more options against some tough left-handers because he's had so much success off the left-handers in his career. And I remember what Paul O'Neill told me, A-Rod, when I turned 50. He said it's nothing but downhill from there.
Well, I'm not sure if A-Rod's watching today because he's somewhere in Europe celebrating his birthday, but, you know, he does check in all the time. So there you have it from Joe Girardi via Paul O'Neill. It all goes downhill from here. 50 years old, and the Yankees take the field as they will try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. And Carlos Rodon will make his way to the mound. Ryan McMahon, his second game as a Yankee, made a sparkling play at third base down the line. Strong throw yesterday. Also picked up a single in 3 at-bats. Let's take a look now at the Phillies starting lineup, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Trey Turner, the DH, leads off. Kyle Schwarber in left. Bryce Harper at first. Cleaning up right fielder Nick Castellanos didn't play yesterday. JT Realmuto, he's caught all 3 of these games. He's behind the plate, and he's going to bat 5th. Batting 6th, the third baseman Otto Kemp. Edmundo Sosa left the game yesterday after a collision in the late innings, but he's back in the lineup playing shortstop. Weston Wilson at second, and Johan Rojas, the center fielder, will bat 9th. Zack Wheeler, 1-2 career record against the Yankees, will get the start for the Phillies. Carlos Rodon, his 22nd start for the Yankees. The All-Star at 10-7, 3.10 ERA, 139 strikeouts, and 124 2/3 innings. And let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, they need Carlos' return to form. His last start against the Blue Jays were 2 for 4 with 0 whiffs on his slider. Hitters are hitting 131 for the year with a 41% whiff rate, so they need that to come back. He's a league leader in a lot of categories. He's first in the AL against batting average against at 188, and the Phillies have hit 333 in these 2 games, so he needs to shut them down. He's also top 10 in wins, strikeouts, and OPS. And he needs to start this off. This rotation was so good the first 81 games of the year, where they had an ERA of 3.39, 5th best. The last 23, an ERA of 5.40, 5th worst. And a lot of times pitching is like hitting. It becomes contagious. So roll out a good start here, and the next guy's going to follow for him.
Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Dominguez, Grisham, and Bellinger left to right in the outfield. Infield, McMahon, Volpe, Chisholm, and Rice, and that's 3rd to 1st. Austin Wells gets to start behind the plate. Giancarlo Stanton is the DH. Trey Turner's ready. Carlos Rodon is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch, swung on, skied to right field, and that'll make the seats out of play, and we are underway. Sean Barber is the home plate umpire. Ryan Wills at first, DJ Rayburn at second. John Lipka is over at third.
Yeah, I like him going up in the zone to Trey Turner in this back foot slider, but Trey Turner is a guy that does not strike out a lot. He cuts down the leg kick. He's well below league average in strikeouts, so this becomes a battle. There it is.
Turner down on strikes. All right, Joe, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, slow them down, and that is Turner and Schwarber in this series. They're 11 for 21 with 8 runs scored and 9 RBIs. Another passenger. Yesterday we did welcome aboard, and that was to Ryan McMahon. Well, they have another passenger, and Ahmed Rosario, who came over in the trade, and he is here today. And it's go time. With Judge down, some people need to step up. They're 6.5 games behind Toronto, and they're only a game and a half up in the wild card. So somebody needs to step up, and it's go time. Season's getting short.
1-0 on Kyle Schwarber. You know, I asked Aaron Boone that today about, you know, are you concerned you're 6.5 games out? He said, concerned? He said, we have to go out and win today. That's all I can think about is winning today.
Well, I think he also talked about he's concerned about the way they're playing, because it doesn't matter. If they don't play well, it doesn't really matter what Toronto does.
Right.
They have to start winning games, and then you can start talking about catching Toronto.
Two and two.
I love the idea of throwing him some sinkers in. He threw him one where he kind of moved him off the play a little bit, and he threw that one down and in because Kyle wants to get extended and loves the ball at the plate. He's also very quick in, so I think the pitches in need to be for effect. So hopefully you can get him out with the slider.
And the 2-2. Schwarber is one of those guys not neutralized when you throw a lefty. When you look at all of the stats, not just average, but all of them, he might be the best left-on-left hitter in all of Major League Baseball.
Well, he has a slug of .657, Michael, and an on-base of .409 versus left-handers. That is darn good. So relaxed in the box, and then he just coils up and swings. Ooh.
They just did roll call here at the stadium, and they included CC Sabathia in the roll call, who is being inducted into the Hall of Fame today.
Against guys like Kyle Schwarber, you can't afford not to get strikes called that are strikes. And that would have been strike 3.
No strike 3. 2 away. Now let's take a look at the home plate umpire, Sean Barber. He's considered hitter friendly, but, you know, trending toward neutral. 12th big league season for Sean. Fewer outside strikes, fewer high strikes on righty batters.
So, Michael, if you were a player, would you want a hitter-friendly or a pitcher-friendly umpire? Or just neutral?
Well, what kind of player am I?
Oh, I don't know.
Am I a pitcher or a hitter?
What would you want to be?
I want to be a hitter.
So then you'd want a hitter-friendly.
Yes, very much so.
You and O'Neill would have got along great.
Yep. Harper swings and misses.
I tell you what, that's something mind-boggling for me. He swings at 51% of first pitches.
Wow.
I mean, that's near the league lead, and I've always thought he was a patient hitter. I guess if I had that kind of power, I'd want to swing as much as I could too.
Harper just 1 hit, 9 at bats this series, but the one was a long home run yesterday.
Yeah, and he's been really good about the last 2 weeks. You go back to the beginning of the break. I mean, he's got 5 homers and 4 doubles. He's been really productive. He had that wrist injury, and it seems not to be bothering him anymore.
2-2. Three and 2.
I think if I was Carlos, I'd throw that pitch again because it seems that hitters become so much more aggressive 3-2 than when it's 1-2 or 2-2.
Rip foul.
They seem to go into an aggressive mode because they think they're ahead in the count, but when they're behind, they're somewhat just protect and find a way to put the ball in play, and he's got pretty good bat to ball skills. Get a little bit more aggressive. 3-2.
That one is looped to Chisholm, and a strong first inning for Carlos Rodón, which has the Phillies in order and the Yankees coming back.
We are the Westchester Giants, and we're proud to announce today's New York Yankees starting lineup. Leading off and playing center field, number 12, Trent Grisham. Batting second, playing first base, number 22, Ben Rice. Batting third, playing right field, number 35, Cody Brown. Batting cleanup, the DH, number 27, John Carlos Stanton. Batting fifth at second base, number 13, Jared Sheffield Jr.
Batting sixth, playing left field, number 24, Jason Dominguez.
Batting seventh, playing third base, number 19, Ryan McMahon. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 11, Anthony Volpe. Batting ninth is the catcher, number 28, Austin Wells, and starting pitcher, number 55, Carlos Rodon. Let's go Yankees!
Good job by the Westchester Giants, not an under gold team. They did a good job with the lineup. Starting lineup is brought to you by Stop and Shop. And that lineup is going to be facing a tough cookie. Zack Wheeler, his 21st start of the year, 9-3, 2.39. Check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report after he delivers this first pitch to Grisham.
Well, when Zach pitches, there's not a lot of traffic. He's number 1 in the NL, 2 in MLB when it comes to whip, walks and hits per innings pitched. I think he really flies under the radar, Michael. When you look at him since 2020, he's first in WAR amongst pitchers, innings pitched, second in OPS, third in ERA and wins, and it seems like we hear about Struble and Skeens and Burns and Crochet and Sale, not about Zack Wheeler. It's been a really nice move for him to Philly. In 6 years, he has an ERA of 2.87. When he pitched for the Mets in 5 years, it was a 3.77.
Swing and a miss. Grisham down on strikes. Look at the defense. Brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Rojas very good in center. Castellanos -10. Outs above average. And that's the worst of any major league outfielder. Worst of any major league outfielder. You see the rest of the defense for the Phils. There's Ben Rice batting second, playing first base. And that one's skied to left field. Schwarber toward the line, and the corner makes the play. Check out FanDuel's live same-game parlay. See what they have on the table. Dominguez going to get a hit. Chisholm, how about a ribby? Carlos Rodon, 7 or more strikeouts, or he has 2.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the strikeout approach double digits.
Here's Cody Bellinger, who has great numbers against Wheeler, 6 for 15. Left center field. And Schwarber backpedaling, falls down and makes the play.
It's good when you can laugh at yourself, Michael. Glasses came flying off. He still made the play.
Yankees go down in order. We go to the second. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Nick Castellanos swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Castellanos did not play yesterday. He banged his knee into the wall on Friday, so he sat out yesterday, but back in the lineup today. He's had an RBI in his last 4 games. And one of the knocks on this Philadelphia team, I don't know if it's a knock, but it's certainly an observation, is that supposedly their window is closing because they're getting older. So how will they do in August and September as the season continues to unspool? So it's a long year.
And there's some key players that are free agents too. When you start talking about Schwarber and you're talking about Real Muto, and we saw one yesterday in Ranger Suarez. I mean, those are some key components to this club. And they have a little bit more depth, I think, in their starting rotation and some young kids and Abel and Painter. But it's hard to replace someone like Kyle Schwarber and JT.
So Schwarber on Friday, his first home run of 2 was his 1,000th hit, 319th of his career. So the most home runs of anybody in his first 1,000 hits. And there were Philly fans that caught the ball, and they brought the ball to him after the game. Now, he thought there were 2 of them, but there were 3. So he brought out 2 signed baseballs to trade for the baseball. Then he saw a third person. He said, how about I go in and get you another baseball? They said, no. All we want from you is to re-sign with the Phillies. You got to bribe the owner of the Phillies, not Schwarber. High fly ball, left field. On the run, Dominguez. He's back on the track at the wall. See it. A home run for Castellanos. And it's 1-0 Phillies.
Nick Castellanos has a really high chase rate, and this is just a mistake by Carlos. He was not probably trying to throw him a strike, trying to throw him a pitch that appeared to be a strike, and it looks like it just leaked back over the middle. And you see his face. He's like, man, did I make a mistake? And you look at this Phillies team. That is their 19th home run since the break, the most in baseball. They are bombs away right now.
So here is Real Muto.
Yeah, this changeup cuts instead of running away from him, and it cuts to the middle of the plate, thigh high, and just really, really dangerous.
Grounded to third, backing up. McMahon fields smoothly and fires to Rice. All right, game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. It's 80 degrees, feels a little bit hotter. And they say that you should try to play quickly because there are some weather forecasts that say it should start raining about 4:30.
I would just want to have a lead at 4:30. I don't care how, and it'd be past 5 innings, and then start to stall a little bit.
There you go. But since it's the last time these two teams are going to play, they'll wait a long time.
Oh, a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. I used to try to stay in tune with the weather as a manager, knowing what was coming, and like, you know, you didn't want to get somebody up if they were going to throw one out and then they were going to sit down for an hour and a half.
So were you a Weather Channel guy, or did you actually have radar apps that you paid for?
I have a radar app on my phone that I would, you know, watch, and then when I was on the bench, I would have people checking it.
Your weather people.
Yeah, not well, like maybe a trainer, like what's the weather, you know, tell me what's going on. And I like Carlos has come back with his changeup. He threw, after making a mistake with one to Castellanos, he's thrown two to Otto Kemp, and really good ones.
Fly ball deep right field. Bellinger back on the track at the wall. See ya. A home run for Kemp. 2 home runs against Rodon. It's 2-0 Phils.
Yeah, his 3rd home run of the season. His first one off a left-hander. His other 2 came off of right-handers. This is a slider that doesn't get in and at the back foot, and it's out over the plate, and Otto Kemp takes advantage of the short porch to right field and hits it in the seats. Now it's 2-0. And with the way that Wheeler's been pitching, that's tough.
Here's Sosa.
He made a quick recovery after yesterday.
The way he left the field yesterday, I didn't think we'd seen him for a while. Looked like he was in excruciating pain running into Brandon Marsh.
And Brandon Marsh is the one sitting today.
Yep.
But he's not hurt. They're just putting in their lineup versus left-hander. There's Brandon Marsh. There's your haircut, Michael, again.
One day. Swing and a miss. Sosa down on strikes, 2 away.
Really good changeup here. You see the circle change grip, how he turns it over. It runs away from Sosa. He runs out of bat. It's about 10 miles an hour off his fastball. A really good pitch.
Weston Wilson takes a strike. Well, they have 3 lefties on the mound. So Rodon giving up 2 home runs this inning. Giving up 2 in his previous 5 starts. So against the lefty, Rodon, Stott on the bench, Marsh on the bench, and Kepler on the bench. So when the Yankees, or if the Yankees go to a right-handed reliever, we'll see those guys probably.
No, I would think so, yeah. They would pinch hit for Wilson. They would pinch hit possibly for Kemp, Rojas.
One and 2. And the pitch. Right in on the hands, foul back. Phillies are 60-44. They're half game behind the Mets in the NL East. Yankees are 56-48. They're now 6.5 behind the Blue Jays, who refused to lose, beat the Tigers yesterday. The Tigers had Tarek Skubal on the mound. Blue Jays won that game.
They didn't beat Tarek Skubal, though. He threw 6 scoreless innings. They got 2 runs in the 8th and 4 in the 9th, or vice versa. That's when they got all their runs. Skubal was brilliant again.
Well, when you have a matchup with Skubal as the starter and you can win the game, you got to feel good about that.
Oh, absolutely. And your hope is you get him out of the game as soon as possible.
High fly ball, right center. And Grisham makes the play in front of Bellinger for the final out. With 2 home runs, give the Phillies a 2-0 lead. Decisions presented by Sage.
Well, that was an easy decision all the time. Just hand him the baseball, Michael, and let him do his thing. And you see his 3,000th K there. What an amazing pitcher, an amazing teammate, and an amazing big brother protector. Who's coming to get him? Nobody, Michael. He always had everybody's back, and that's why his teammates loved him so much.
First ballot Hall of Famer, 86.8% of the ballot. One of 3 left-handed pitchers with 250 more wins and 3,000 strikeouts. So that 2009 team, he was a big part of that when the Yankees went out and got Burnett, Teixeira, and CeCe on the free agent market. CeCe was a guy that Brian Cashman said he wanted him to fix the clubhouse. The clubhouse was not the way he wanted to be. And, you know, you were there.
Yeah.
What did CeCe mean?
He was a connector. You know, a lot of times at a clubhouse you have different groups that hang out. Well, CeCe brought everybody together, which we thought was really, really important. And he had the ability to do that. He could take one group and put it with another group, and we'd all go have fun. And I was just so appreciative to have a chance to manage him. And you know, I said something the other day on the radio about CeCe. CeCe's a Hall of Fame pitcher. There's no doubt in my mind. But one of the things that always made me laugh was when we first got CeCe, his mother approached me in spring training and she said, if you need CeCe to do something he's not listening, you call me. And I thought, that's a Hall of Fame mother too. She had a big part to do with his career.
Yeah, when I spoke to him last week, you know, his speech, which, you know, he's been working on for a while, was about the women that really raised him. And obviously his mom's there, so it's going to be great. Hope he has a wonderful day. That one is ripped into right center field. And the dive and the incomplete dive by Rojas. Backing up is Castellanos. So Rojas tried to make a beautiful play, couldn't come up with it, and a single for Stanton.
Yeah, Rojas is a very speedy outfielder, and this ball just seemed to dip a little bit. Good job by Castellanos backing it up. I mean, I think that's a ball he probably should have caught. He just didn't extend his glove. I don't know if he lost it a little bit, but I think it's a ball that he's capable of making. Good job, as I said, by Castellanos to back up, and Stanton has to stay at first base. Again, Michael, going to right field. I love it.
There's Jazz Chisholm. He's hit 2 home runs in his career against Zack Wheeler.
I think Zack hasn't forgotten as he threw him that little sweeper inside and got Jazz to swing over the top of it, knowing that he might be aggressive here, hunting that fastball.
Chisholm 4 for 9 in the first 2 games of the series. And that got Chisholm. So the Yankees with runners on first and second and nobody out here in the second inning.
Yeah, that has to hurt off the front of that toe. I tell you what, I laugh at everyone puts on these pads, and the pads are never big enough, Michael. I mean, it seems to find where the pad is not. I mean, think about that. What did it have? Maybe 2 inches to find where it found it. And if you're a hitter, I would prefer it be my front foot than my back foot, because you want to be able to stay light on your front foot, and he's probably going to have to now.
Yankees come out to check him out. He's going to stay in the game.
Jazz has a way of laughing things off, though. I mean, he's got that personality. I think it's really important, Michael, for the Yankees to respond here because it's been a tough couple of days.
Dominguez with a hearty swing, fouls it back.
Just make it clap.
1-1.
Zack Wheeler has the ability to go to every quadrant with his fastball. Up and in, up and away, down and away, down and in. He's got really good command as he's only walked 26 batters this year. And it's not today.
Wow. So Dominguez gets hit, and just like that, the Yankees have the bases loaded, nobody out. It's unusual for Wheeler.
Very unusual, because when you look at his strikeout to walk ratios, one of the best in the game. He just doesn't walk people, he doesn't hit people, but this is a cutter that takes off. The first one that he's thrown all day, and it gets him just above the belt. He's trying to get out of the way.
The way to get hit, right?
I think so. A grazing shot on your stomach.
So here's Ryan McMahon with the bases loaded. Couldn't hold up. Count 0-1. McMahon, his last 10 games, obviously 9 of those with the Rockies, hitting .314 with 4 home runs and 9 ribbies. Phillies playing back for the double play. Kemp is in at third. 1-1.
And the Phillies infield is much different. Usually on a day like today, Sosa would play second for Stott, but he's playing short. And Wilson might be in left field, and Schwarber might be the DH. I mean, they've moved some people around today.
2-1 on McMahon.
And my guess is with Turner being on base so much the last few days, they probably wanted to get him off his legs a little bit.
Volpe on deck. Wheeler in trouble here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Phils. Couple of solo home runs. Grounded. Fair ball. Down the right field line. That'll go into the corner. Stanton scores. Chisholm scores. Dominguez will stop at third. It's a 2-run double for McMahon, and the Yankees have tied the score.
Yeah, a really big hit for the Yankees to respond after being down 2-0, giving up 2 solo homers in the second, and he gets this breaking ball, this curveball. He had thrown sweepers to Jazz, and he hit him with him, so he went to his curveball, which he throws against left-handers and gets by Harper. The interesting thing is Jason Dominguez was looking to try to find the ball, did not know where the baseball was, and stopped at second base, and that's he didn't know if Harper got it, and the third base coach is waving the runner from second around, so it was a difficult play for him. He probably should have turned around again his swivel and tried to look in the right field corner to find the baseball. He might have been able to score.
Back at short and second. Volpe with a 1-0 count. One and one.
You're going to watch Dominguez here. He doesn't know if Harper catches it. He looks, he doesn't see the ball, and he stops. And I got to believe he probably would have scored, or they may have thrown him out. I'm not sure, but it's something you want him to not have to stop. Putting the ball in play through the middle of the infield, the middle of the field is really important here for Anthony Volpe. You don't want to hit a ground ball to third. You want to stay in the middle of the field to try to get a run in and get a run over to third with less than 2 outs.
So 3-1 on Volpe. The 2 ribbies from McMahon now give him 11 ribbies in his last 11 games. Still nobody out. And the 3-1. 3-2. Volpe 3 for 8 in the series so far. He's 4 for his last 10, 2 home runs, and 7 for his last 24 with 4 home runs.
Yeah, since those few days off of the break, he's come back and looked much better at the plate. And again, no one can be Aaron Judge, so it's everyone else just contributing that will lessen the blow.
Lights are on here at the stadium. Overcast. The sun's a rumor today.
It's a far cry from that first inning where he threw only 5 pitches.
Yeah.
Zack Wheeler, 21 already in this inning and nobody out.
Three-two. Volpe stays alive. And the payoff. Down the left field line, foul.
Yeah, he tried to speed him up with a couple sinkers inside and then comes back with that split, and Volpe was able to slow up enough to foul it off. Be interesting to see if he throws him a breaking ball away or if he tries to throw in a sinker off the plate that comes back.
3-2. Got him. One away. And that brings up Wells.
Yeah, this is just a really good sweeper that hitters have a hard time when you're facing Zack Wheeler. Hitters are only hitting 153 on it with very few extra base hit. Perfect placement. Sped him up. A couple sinkers in. He pulled the changeup and then he went back away.
Still back at short and second. Foul back. An unusual inning in that the Yankees have 2 runs and they have not hit a home run. Their offense is so predicated on hitting the long ball. But a single to hit batters and a double down the line. Fly ball. Schwarber tagging Dominguez. Catch is made. Here comes Dominguez. Here's the throw. And he scores. It's a sac fly for Wells. And the Yankees take a 3-2 lead.
Only Kyle Schwarber's 7th game in the field this year does not possess the greatest of throwing arms. Came up as a catcher, or he was a catcher in college, and does a good job of catching the baseball, but doesn't really get behind it. And a pretty speedy Dominguez, probably no shot.
So now second and third. I'll check that second with 2 outs. 3 runs in. Yankees up 3-2. Ground ball through for a base hit. McMahon rounds third. He's coming home. He will score. It's an RBI single for Grisham, and the Yankees lead 4-2.
Just a really nice response from the Yankees and a good split from Zack Wheeler, and Grisham sees it up and pulls it through this hole. And then when he hit it to Castellanos, who does not have a ton of assist, only 2 in right field, he's kind of slow of getting rid of the baseball, which allows McMahon to score. As we watch this go through, it takes him time. There are guys that have great arms. There are guys that get the ball in the air quickly. He does neither, and that's why McMahon's able to score. See, Weston Wilson, his first game at second base this year. He's played mostly left field and some third base. Does not come up with it, and good job by Ryan McMahon running the bases, and the Yankees have a 4-2 lead. You think about in the last 6 2/3 innings against one of the best pitchers in baseball, going back to last year, the Yankees have scored 11 runs off of Zack Wheeler. 7 last year in 5 innings.
And he comes in with a 2.39 ERA, and the Yankees have 4 runs in 1 inning against him. So here's Ben Rice. Well, the Yankees have picked up their starter, Carlos Rodon. He gives up the 2 home runs, and they come back with 4 in the bottom of the inning. Ground ball, shortstop, Sosa will make the out at first, and that'll do it. But the Yankees score 4 runs. A couple of the big blows. Ryan McMahon, second game as a Yankee, picks up 2 ribbies with a double. And then Trent Grisham remains hot with an RBI single. Welcome back to the Bronx. Yankees leading 4-2 as we start the 3rd inning. Johan Rojas against Carlos Rodon, and there's a strike. Well, we do this every year because we think it's important. That man in the middle is Dr. Darryl Regal, and the Yankees are doing something great on Thursday. It's an afternoon game, and it's a free cancer screening for fans that come to the ballpark. And Doctor, thank you for coming. Why is this so important?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Of course.
1 in 5 Americans will get skin cancer at some point during their lifetime. And it's probably the most preventable of cancers, just with common sense. Protect yourself from the sun, wear sunscreen, all those things. Despite that, 1 American dies every hour of skin cancer. So, it's so important to get checked early. The earlier you detect it, the easier it is to treat it.
Now, one thing that you're working against in your profession is that people with a tan think they look healthier and they feel better about themselves, but it's quite the opposite, right?
You're absolutely right. It's hard to work against that because some people like the way they look with it, but the bottom line is there's no such thing as a safe tan. In order to get tan, you have to be exposed to the sun, have the damage, your body's producing the pigment to deal with the damage, so you're getting damage getting tan to do it.
All right, so you're looking at people on Thursday here at the stadium. What should people that are not going to be at the stadium, what should they look for before they go to a doctor?
Well, 2 things. If something's growing, bleeding, crusting, or changing, have your dermatologist look at it. That's the key to this because, again, you catch it early. And then there's, for melanoma, there's A, B, C, D. Asymmetry, irregular border, uneven color, and diameter greater than a pencil eraser. If you see those features on a mole on your skin, have it checked. Again, a melanoma the size of a dime, which is little on your skin, has a 50% chance of having already spread. So you want to catch it early so you don't have to deal with it.
2-0 count on Trey Turner. He struck out in the 1st inning. Fly ball right field. Bellinger. 2 outs. So where can the people get screened at the stadium on Thursday, Doc?
Well, we did the screening actually already. It's past it, but we do it every year. We're available in a bunch of places to do it. And the bottom line is that early detection is key. See a dermatologist if you're not sure. Go to the website aad.org. That's American Academy of Dermatology to get information. All those things are helpful. Being out in a baseball game like this, it's beautiful outside. Even though it's a little cloudy today, you still get ultraviolet radiation from the sun through the clouds. So don't be fooled. Wear your sunscreen even in this kind of weather in July.
So obviously people like to go to the beach. They like to lay out at the pool. If you put sunscreen on, are you okay or can you still be damaged?
Well, you're cutting down the damage by having sunscreen, but just to lie in the sun to bake for baking's sake can put you at some risk. But the more protection you have, there's really 3 things. Wear protective clothing, wear that hat. The baseball cap, as you know, protects here, but it doesn't protect necessarily around the ears or the back of the neck. Avoid the midday sun when the rays are strongest and regularly use sunscreen. Those 3 things will lower your risk overall to do it.
And is there an SPF that's preferable?
Well, I like SPF 30 or higher. I think it makes a difference. What happens is people under-apply sunscreen. They put it on, let's say they put a 40 or a 50 on, but they under-apply. So when they do that, they're not getting what's the rated amount of sun protection. So if you put on a 4th of what it is, a 30 is giving you a 7, which isn't enough. That's the advantage of the higher SPFs. They're more forgiving if you under-apply to do it. So at least a 30 is the best, especially at a July day in the summer. You're going to definitely want to do that.
The 1-2.
Doc, I can say I listen to you. I put sunscreen on every day when we had these day games. On the back of my neck, my ears, I just covered myself because I didn't want to deal with it. And there's a gentleman that I work out with at the gym in South Florida. He's probably had 20 surgeries because of, he used to go to the beach all the time as a kid in the Jersey Shore. And he said he put baby oil on and it wasn't healthy for him. And he's a fighter. He's 80 years old. He works out all the time, but probably 20 surgeries.
Well, I grew up at the Jersey Shore, too. You can tell from the accent. But bottom line is we didn't have that protection those days. Now we do. It's so easy to use it. It's so simple, and it really makes a difference to do it.
So he stays alive with the foul ball. So in your perfect world, everybody is pale.
What we like to say is, love the skin you're in, okay? Don't, if you're pale, you're fine. If you're darker, you're fine. Don't try to change it, because you don't have to. Everybody looks beautiful. But, you know, it's so important in dermatology. It's the saddest thing when somebody comes in with an advanced skin cancer and they don't really feel sick yet, but I know I'm looking at a serious problem for it.
Doctor, we thank you every year for coming by. Great advice for people. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Dr. Darryl Regal, we'll be back. Let's turn for the Audi Electric Moment. Experience a fully electric Audi dealer and Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Yeah, early in his career, you're going to see Ichiro come up and make this strong, accurate throw to throw out Terrence Long, who was a speedy base runner with the Oakland A's, and it did not take long for it to get around. Do not run on this guy. He is accurate and possesses a great arm. I would have loved to had the analytics on that, Michael, how hard he threw that ball.
Well, that's the resume that will get him into the Hall of Fame today. He got 99.7% of the vote. That means of the 394 voters, 393 said he's a Hall of Famer. I would love to talk to the one who didn't think he was, but they don't make that public. And I'd like to talk to the one that didn't think Derek Jeter was.
Yeah. Well, so far, Zack Wheeler has hit Jazz Chisholm in his big toe, and he just hit home plate umpire Sean Barber in the big toe. It looked like he was trying to throw a backdoor cutter, and he pulled it, which we've seen him do on Dominguez. We've seen him pull some breaking balls on Chisholm. He pulled it. JT wasn't able to catch it. He's not making a lot of friends.
Line, right field. Castellanos has it get by him and go all the way to the wall. Here comes Bellinger, rounding second. He'll go to third, and he will make it with a triple. I have to say, the Phillies don't have their A outfield out there today.
No, they do not. And this ball gets under his glove, and he makes an effort, and he is minus 10 outs above average, and Cody thinks it's probably an out because he hit it so hard he probably thought it ends up with a triple easily, as Castellanos does not come up with the ball. And now the Yankees are looking to add another run. You're going to see this ball just get under his glove, and it's like, uh-oh. I mean, if it bounces like 3 inches farther out in front of him, it probably bounces in his glove.
That's Bellinger's 4th triple of the year. Phillies bring the infield in. Sosa about halfway at short because he values his life and stands at the plate. 1-1.
Zack Wheeler's really off.
This is StatCast 3D by Google Cloud, and you see all the times he's gone to the right side of his 18 hits, 10 to the opposite field.
That makes him extremely dangerous, because he's staying on the breaking ball because he's a little bit late on the fastball.
Two and one. Three-one. Check the swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 3-2. So Ryan Wall said he went around.
It's interesting when he's gotten behind the right-handed hitters, he's come inside with sinkers. He did it on Volpe. Now he does it here on Stanton. See all the run he gets, and it just kind of ties him up. And oh yeah, he went. I don't know how you ever stop a check swing when you swing as hard as he does.
Grounded foul.
The home run that he hit yesterday off a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, he took it to right field. The line drive just to right field, and 2-run homer for Stanton. It's been very good since the first 10 games when he first came back.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball. 1 away.
That's the same way that he got Volpe after going inside. He threw him the good sweeper, where hitters do not have a lot of success on that pitch. Hitters are only hitting, as I said, 153 off this pitch. Great movement.
Infield comes all the way in for Jazz. 0-1. Wheeler's 35 years old. This is his 11th big league season. And he said earlier this year he plans to retire when his contract is up after 2027. He said it will be easy to walk away. He said, I don't want to play until I'm old.
Just till you're old?
I guess.
I mean, he's really not that old. And he's still so successful that you wonder why. But a wonderful family guy. Really easygoing. Michael had a chance to manage him for 3 years. These days were rare to watch him struggle.
Well, he signed a 5-year, $118 million deal with Philly from 2020 to 24. Then before the final season, signed a 3-year extension, 3 years, $126 from 2025 through 27.
And so far, Michael, he's been worth every penny of that because he's been so dominant in Philadelphia. As I said, 6 years, makes basically every start. 2.87 ERA coming into today.
Should be on the short list for Cy Young this year. Battling Paul Skeens. Finished second in 2021 to Corbin Burns and finished second last year to Chris Sale. One, two. Now this is an unusual start, as Joe alluded to. He's allowed 2 runs or fewer in 16 of his 20 starts. He's already passed that. He's gone 6 or more innings 17 times. Has 15 quality starts, which is 6 innings of 3 runs or fewer. Fly ball, left center. On the run, Rojas makes the catch. Tagging is Bellinger. The throw is in time. What a tag by Realmuto.
Yeah, I think because Cody tags the bag with his left hand, if he tags the base with his feet, he is safe. But because he doesn't, he keeps his legs back. It looks like it's a really good tag by Realmuto. Can't really tell if he tags him in the helmet, but it sure looks like it. If his feet touch the base first, he's going to be safe. Wow, he's out.
Quite a throw by Rojas, quite a tag by Realmuto. And that's how the Phillies get out of the inning. So leadoff triple, the Yankees don't score, no runs a hit, and nobody left on base because of the 8-2 double play to end the inning. Bryce Harper leads off the 4th inning. Yankees lead 4-2. Pitch outside. Harper, Castellanos, and Realmuto. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard, 4-4-0 Yanks, 2-2-0 Phils. One and one.
Well, Michael, you talked about the athleticism of JT Realmuto yesterday. I mean, we just saw it on full display. The hops, the quick tag, presence of mind where he was at home plate.
That one is looped and caught by McMahon.
Carlos has been able to jam Bryce Harper twice. He got a little soft liner to Jazz in the first, and then this one gets on him A little line drive to basically shortstop. Harper is a guy that will lay down a bunt in that situation, but chose not to and ends up making it out. Usually doesn't do it with 1 out, but he'll do it with 0 outs when he's leading off an inning.
Castellanos with a home run in the second, swings and misses.
It's A-Rod's birthday today, and I was telling you, he always loved to talk baseball. I was talking about it all the time. Nick Castellanos is the same way. It's all he talks about is baseball, baseball, baseball. Hitting, fielding, everything.
He would have liked the old days where guys would sit around the clubhouse for hours just talking about the game. That really doesn't go on that much anymore. I'm not saying never, but it's rare. Strike 3. Castellanos down looking.
Yeah, and you're going to see the Rojas throw here. He gets behind it and he gets it in the air quick, and he knows with no one on first or second, you don't worry about anyone else moving up. So get the ball there in the air, and you can see Cody, if you see Realmuto get up in the air, how far he gets up and comes down and makes that tag. I mean, there aren't a lot of catchers that can do that, but if his foot would have tagged the plate, he would have been safe. But he tried to do it with the backhand. That's the one thing where catchers don't block the plate anymore, that I think hitters try to do more of this, and his feet were way in front of his hand.
Now I have a question for you, Joe. I mean, it seems like it's against all rules of nature to start a catcher day game after night game.
Not JT.
Why? Why does it work for him? And other guys, you have to, they can't do day game after night game.
Well, JT has been one of the big proponents of catching on one knee. Because he's so athletic, he can do it. He can still block, throw, do everything. He said the amount of energy that you save doing that, you become almost like basically a position player. And he's very durable. He's strong. He's athletic. He's in fantastic shape all the time. I mean, you think about a catcher having his best month in the month of July offensively. I mean, he's tearing it up.
It's interesting, though. He throws out runners pretty well, above league average.
His pop time is one of the best in baseball.
But his framing and blocking has gone way down. Do you think as he's getting older, that's what?
Yeah, it could be a little bit. And I think, Michael, some of that is subjective because, and I know they'll tell you it's not. You'll see a guy frame, he'll be a +10 one year and a -4 the next, and then a +6. You know, I think some of it depends on the umpire who calls it behind you, whether you get a hitter-friendly umpire or a pitcher-friendly. That makes a big difference. So I think he's still the same player.
And he goes down on strikes. So it's been a nice bounce back for Rodon after the 2 home runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's time for today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge placed on the 10-day IL today with a right flexor strain. He could return in DH when eligible. The UCL, most importantly, is intact. I had a chance to ask Aaron Boone a question today. I said, if he DH'd starting today, would that worsen the injury? And he said, no, it wouldn't. And I said, then why isn't he doing that? And he said, Joe, gripping is affected by that injury, so it might impact the way he hits. Now, Judge wanted to hit, and Boone said, you can't judge him because he wanted to still play the outfield with this. But they just thought that it would adversely affect the grip, and that's why they're putting him on the 10-day IL.
Yeah, if he doesn't have his full hand strength in that right hand, I think it makes sense to let that strain calm down and get his strength back in it, and then he can be an effective DH. And I think the big thing is you don't want to linger, and your hope is you can get him on the field as soon as possible. So hitting may prolong that of him getting back on the field, and that's why they're giving it 10 days to calm down.
There's Ryan McMahon, his double in the second inning. First extra base hit by a Yankee third baseman since Jazz Chisholm had a home run on July 5th at Citi Field in the Subway Series. Now, this injury to Judge directly impacts Giancarlo Stanton, because when Judge comes back, I don't think he's going to be playing the outfield right away. Meredith, and you spoke to Giancarlo Stanton. His thoughts on this were what?
And Michael, it has been a while since he has been out in that outfield, but Giancarlo Stanton saying all the right things, saying it's not foreign for him to be playing the outfield. He will do anything he can to help this team. He is willing to try to play the outfield again, and Aaron Boone said he's going to start working in the outfield this week. So time will tell whether or not that happens, but it's a big problem for the Yankees. They want both of those bats in the lineup. And in speaking to Aaron Judge in the clubhouse last night, it seemed like he really did try to campaign to stay off that injured list and stay in the lineup. But Joe, to your point, they want that strain to calm down, so hopefully he's a field player sooner rather than later, as Ryan McMahon has a single here, Michael.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2. So I'm not sure if you asked Giancarlo this, but you know, he's missed a chunk of the season because of the tennis elbows. Would playing the outfield and throwing affect that adversely?
They do not believe right now that that's going to affect that adversely. I also asked him when's the last time he was actually out there, whether he was tracking balls or doing anything during batting practice, whatever it might have been. And he said during his rehab assignment, he was actually out in the outfield a little bit. But aside from that, he has not played since, I believe, Michael, back in 2022 in the outfield.
Yeah, he played left field in the outfield at Boston September 14th of 2022. That is a long, long time. So you just wonder if Judge has to DH for a while, Joe, that does lessen the impact of what Stanton's going to be. I don't think he's going to be in the outfield every day.
No, and I think you'd probably be a little bit more comfortable trying it here because of the short right field porch. But as we watch him run the bases, I don't feel real comfortable putting him out in right field. Here it's short. Like if it's over your head here, a lot of times it's in the seats. You know, you could play him a little bit deeper and he'd only have to worry about coming in. But I mean, you think about playing him against when there's left-handers on the mound, where a lot of the balls are going, you know, on the third base side of second base. I mean, you can pick your spots. If you have an extreme ground ball pitcher, you could play him because there's not going to be a lot of action probably in right field. You just have to pick your spots. And I don't think you can do it multiple days in a row because of his legs.
2-2. I don't think it's a coincidence, Joe. The last time he was in the outfield was in left field in Fenway, so a short field.
Yeah, and I think it's something worth investigating to see if you could possibly do it. Because again, as you said, you want both those bats in the lineup because Stanton's swinging the bat really well, and you don't want him sitting a lot. And Judge is swinging the bat well.
Soft ground ball, shortstop. They get the out at second, forcing McMahon, and Volpe reaches on the fielder's choice.
Good hustle by Ryan McMahon. He made this pretty close to where he was almost safe, but you see him reach for that sweeper. Nice play by Sosa. And the thing about Sosa, what he did is he didn't rush and try to get two, and Volpe slips getting out of the box, but it still doesn't matter. He knew that this was a one-out play, and I'm going to make sure I make a good, accurate throw, take a couple extra steps, and make sure I get the out.
So here is Austin Wells, sac fly to left in the second. You know, the Yankee run game really has essentially been shut down. Volpe's been at 10 stolen bases forever. Chisholm has gone 36 straight games without a stolen base.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised more by Jazz. Volpe's struggled minorly. You know, when you go back, it seems like he's been stuck on 10 and he's been caught 7 times. But for Jazz not to be running, I'm a little bit surprised.
Now you see when Volpe leads off first, he's jumping up and down.
Yeah.
which played in his favor his first year. You think that the league has caught on to it? What does that do, though? What's that do for him to be jumping around like that?
Well, he's trying to get a big jump is what he's trying to do. And he's gotten caught a few times, and sometimes you become a little hesitant when that happens. The other thing is he hasn't been on base a ton, but I think teams understand you can wait a little bit longer. There's different things you can do to combat that. I mean, his last stolen base being July 6th.
There he goes. Throw to second. There's a stolen base. Goes into center field. Jumps up and will head to third. So stolen base and an error on the throw.
Yeah, JT's a guy that will throw from his knees a lot, and he'll try to bounce it so the ball stays low. Here, this ball gets away from him, goes up the line, and it's Sosa. Looks like his wrist gets hit. I mean, he's had a rough couple of days. Yesterday, the elbow in the back, and he's looking for the baseball. Looks like he got hurt, but again, now a wild pitch in air allows you to score a run with 2 outs, so that's big getting to third base.
And if Sosa makes that catch, he's out. The tag is on the knee. 3-2. Well, that was a hard catch.
Yeah.
You can't blame him on that.
And the only way he catches that is if he catches it in front. He was kind of catching it in the middle of Volpe's body, but he's got to catch it on the home plate side. He may not be able to apply the tag. He's going to be happy to get out of New York.
And Wells walks.
Well, that should open up the hole between first and second, where Trent got his last base hit. He'll have to hold Wells on at first. Coming into today, Trent, you know, we talk a lot about the home runs and the defense that he plays, but he's had an on base of 371. That is really, really good. He has had a fantastic year.
A bluff by Wells at first base.
Yeah, and that's why you're going to see JT give another set of signs. The bluff at Wells, you're trying to find out if the defense will give away what they're doing. Did someone go to cover second base? If someone didn't go to cover second base, and maybe the third baseman went towards third base, then you know they're not throwing through, and you can just run and not worry about getting thrown out.
Could not hold up, according to John Lipka. So the count 1-1.
As a manager, I used to worry about the shift when the shift would be on and the shortstop would be like behind second base, because that would give him a good view if the guy from third was going when you were throwing through. If he's running towards second, it's hard for him to see because his back's turned to him. So I always worried about running in those situations.
2-1 on Grisham. You
see the good curveball from Wheeler. He's got the curveball and the sweeper, where he throws the curveball more to left-handed hitters because it goes straight down, because that down and in, if it comes in too much, can be dangerous versus left-handers. So it keeps it away from, and uses the sweeper to right-handers.
Swing and a miss. Got him on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Yankees lead 2. We go to the 5th. So it's considered a 4. 265, 243 hits, 11 home runs with the Yankees from 16 through 18. And the information I'm getting, Joe, from our powers that be, if you don't get this, you can't play anymore.
I can't. Well, I don't think most days I don't play.
They won't even let you guess anymore, they said.
How many home runs was there? 11.
11. Otto Kemp with a high fly ball to center field, going back. Grisham on the track at the wall. See ya. Otto Kemp with his second home run of the day against Carlos Rodón. It's 4-3 Yanks.
One of the things they talk about this young third/first baseman is that he hits the ball really, really hard. Now, he is young in his career, being only 25 years old, but we've seen a little bit of that today with the 2 home runs. This is just a four-seamer that gets too much of the plate. We talked about the importance of his location with his four-seamer, and now it's 4-3.
Swing and a miss. 0-1 on Sosa.
Yeah, just middle, a dangerous spot to a powerful hitter.
So he has doubled his home run total in his career today. Slowed down by Rodon, and that ended up giving a base hit to Sosa.
Yeah, it's just such an instinct for a pitcher to try to catch the baseball, and so many times they're better off just letting it go through to the shortstop or the second baseman and allowing it to be an out, and he did not in that case. And I think it's a play that Volpe makes, and he doesn't catch it, and it's a single, and they got something going again. One of the things that's interesting to me is Sosa doesn't have a stolen base, and he's top 4% in sprint speed, but not a great base stealer.
Here's Wilson.
He's got to make sure that he does not let his frustration of not making that last play in the home run lead to something else, another mistake. He's thrown 71 pitches. It would be great to get him through 6 innings with the lead. Stop it right here.
One and one on Wilson. We're at the top of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 4-3. All 3 runs by the Phillies via the home run. Kemp with 2, Castellanos with 1. Foul ball.
They have played 9 games now in the second half, and they have 21 home runs.
That'll get it done.
Yes. Schwarber has 6 of them.
Two and 2 on Wilson. Two big men talking baseball.
Probably steadying Giancarlo's last at bat. Thompson put Sosa in motion with a left-hander on the mound. With a right-hander, I'm quite sure that he would.
Runner goes. There's ball 4. So first and second, nobody out. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Today's picture is from Mackenzie, celebrating her 3rd anniversary of a Yankees-themed wedding in Puerto Vallarta. And she married Don Mattingly. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media. Reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Nice picture, Mackenzie.
We know that's Don. He's got a beard. Don wasn't allowed to wear a beard.
That's right.
Yeah, here's where you got to be really aware of Rojas bunting. And yesterday we saw him drag. Today he may try to push it by Rodon towards Jazz Chisholm. You're going to see Ben Rice probably play pretty shallow to take it away. McMahon to play pretty shallow to take it away. Set up a second and third situation with one out for Trey Turner.
In at the corners. Sosa at second, Wilson's at first. The wheel play. Does strike you like that play?
I do. I used to run it. I also had, when I had Didi, I said, Didi, just read the hitter. If the hitter doesn't square around, stop. Don't keep running, just stop. And we had a fake wheel to try to get them to pull the ball, bat back and swing and maybe hit in a double play. So I had both.
Not on that time, because obviously Rojas not bunting in the count 0-2.
And as a hitter, you're taught to swing when they do that. If they wheel around, because there's holes. That whole left side is completely open. The first baseman's charging. The second baseman's cheating in because he's worried about the push bunt or having to cover first if Rice has to come in. It leaves so many holes. So you're taught to swing, and he took it.
Strike three. That is an empty calorie at bat for Johan Rojas.
An empty calorie?
Yeah.
I tell you what, it used to feel pretty bad because I was a guy that had to bunt. And when you didn't get the bunt down and you ended up striking out, it's like, oh boy, what a bad at bat. But it's better than hitting in a double play.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yes.
Pitch to Turner. I was looking at some of these stats, Joe. He is second in sprint speed in all of baseball.
He was tied for
old.
first yesterday.
Right, so I think Witt is first at 30.4 feet per second.
So Witt added a 0.1 yesterday.
Yeah. And Turner is 30.3.
Yeah.
He's 32 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, he had a hamstring injury last year and kind of shut down his running for a while, but that has not been the case. His legs have been under him the whole year. He's running as fast as he ever did. Makes you wonder how fast he was 5 years ago.
One. Ground ball and grabbed by McMahon. He gets the out at first despite the speed. What a play by McMahon. He has flashed some leather in these two games.
Well, we see him go towards the line yesterday and make a strong play with a strong arm, and you see him going towards shortstop, getting up, the quickness to get up, the strong arm to get a speedy Trey Turner. And you look at Wilson, probably would have been safe at second had he went there. And I think Trey was a little bit surprised and actually slowed down a little bit, thinking that he might go to second base. Wow, what a play.
That was a big at bat against Schwarber, who struck out twice against Rodon. Second and third, 2 outs. Yankees lead by 1, 4-3. Top of the 5th. One.
Yeah, this is just a really good play and a heads-up play by McMahon not to even look towards second, because if he looks towards second and thinks of going to second and then throws to first, he is safe. Just a really heads-up play. That's the internal clock that's so important for infielders.
High fly ball, right field and deep. Bellinger back. He's on the track. He's at the wall, and he makes the play. Used up all of the real estate in right center here in the Bronx, and he hauled it in for the final out. Second and third, 2 outs. That would have given the Phillies the lead, but Bellinger makes the play, and Philadelphia strands 2. We're halfway through, and of course, the pitcher loves it. Audi scoreboard, 4-3 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Rice, Bellinger, and Stanton. Sun peeking through for the first time. The field is bathed in sunlight.
Is that what that is?
I think that's what it is. Time called.
Oregon was going on during the middle of the
He called
pitch.
time because of that?
Yes.
Well, you could have time at every ballpark in the world. I'm always amazed the difference between baseball and, like, say, tennis.
Golf.
So 50,000 people screaming in the biggest moment in the game. And if you sneeze in a golf tournament, they look at you like they want you thrown out. Rip foul.
Yeah, I wonder how that started, right? Because as athletes, you're taught to block everything out, right? But why not in those sports?
I mean, in this sport, you're hitting a ball moving 100 miles an hour, maybe a little wrinkle in it too. And you have a guy saying something about your mom behind the plate, and they don't shut him up.
Tennis, some of them are going 100, but you got a much bigger racket.
Yeah. (3-1). I did get a chance to watch Happy Gilmore 2 yesterday, so there was a lot of yelling in those golf matches.
There's a 2?
Yeah, debuted Friday on Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 2.
Yeah.
And how did it compare to the first?
It's 25 years later. I don't want to give it away. There's a lot of good cameos.
Was it a good movie?
Yeah, it was entertaining. It's not Casablanca, but I liked it. And I love Adam Sandler, so. Strike 3. Rice thought it was ball 4. He was moving toward first. Now I'll head to the dugout.
Looked like he might have got maybe a little bit here on this backdoor breaking ball. It's just off the plate. Yeah.
Way outside. Two and 0.
I'd like to see him take a swing and try to hit one in the seats here, Michael, if he gets a fastball. Wheeler a lot of times will throw a fastball in 3-0 situations if it's middle in.
And there's ball 4. All right, tomorrow on Yes, it's a big division showdown as the Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays kick off a 4-game set here in the Bronx. Coverage will start at 6 with Audi batting practice in the pregame, with first pitch scheduled for shortly after 7 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. I'll be with David Cohn doing that series. Yes has 3 out of the 4 games, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday afternoon, leading up to our trade deadline special, and Prime will televise the Wednesday night game.
So when do you think, like, it's going to get really active? Like, there's been a little activity. Actually, surprised there's been this much this early.
I think
Wednesday,
because I think teams are waiting to see are we really out of it or not before they start, training people.
Well, I think with some of these teams losing, especially in the American League, you kind of brought a lot more teams back in it.
It's amazing what's happening with the Tigers. They're the best team in baseball, but not the last 2 weeks.
And now they're playing the best team in baseball.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have the best record in baseball right now. Blue Jays are 37-14 in their last 51 games. And they've won 8 of 9. The only loss was to the Yankees. 2-2 on Stanton.
You think about the last 30, the Yankees were 42-25 when they left Kansas City and went to Boston. Right. And since then, they've been 14-23. And you look at Toronto, they're 25-12. They've picked up 11 games on.
See the AL East standings right now. Red Sox are losing to the Dodgers as we speak. And down goes Stanton. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. George Lombard Jr. starting to hit his stride at Somerset, safely in 10 of his last 12 games. Spencer Jones, 29 home runs this season. That leads the minors. And Rock Reggio, second baseman, in July at AA. 305, 4 homers at 1.016 OPS. 0-1 on Chisholm.
Yeah, Zack Wheeler, each at bat has started Jazz with something slow. Breaking ball the first 2 times, a split there. He knows Jazz is hunting that heater, and he's not giving them to him. If he does, he's teasing him with him off the plate.
One and two.
I think he's just trying to set up that split below the zone, or that breaking ball down and in below the zone.
And down goes Chisholm. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Zack Wheeler. We played 5 at the stadium. Yankees up by 1.
And it could be if Harper gets on.
Well, thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. Cal Raleigh, 40 home runs this season, 7th for a catcher all time. He still has 2 months to go. Ohtani's been red hot, as has Junior Caminero, who the Yankees will see starting tomorrow night. We start the 6th inning. Harper with a foul ball, 0-1.
James and I were discussing, you know, how far you let Carlos go here if Harper gets on. Is it possible that he goes to Jonathan? If he doesn't, does he let him keep going?
It's a tough call because the Yankee bullpen has not been great of late. So you got to hold your breath when you go to him. Two and one on Harper.
Harper just got rid of his sunglasses. You would think that now you would need them more than before.
I think the sun went behind a cloud. Maybe that's why now it's a little overcast, so he threw him away. 3-1 on Harper. Harper's 0 for 2. Kind of a hazy day here in the Bronx. Take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Loizaga threw 24 pitches yesterday. De Los Santos threw 16. Everybody else is well rested. And Loizaga is up. He's warming up right now. Fly ball. Grisham makes the play, 1 down.
His
Ball was up
sinker,
in the air, the sun came out again.
his sinker has been really good to Harper. It looks like Aaron Boone's going to make this move.
So with Castellanos coming up, having hit 1 home run against Rodon. Rodon at 90 pitches. Boone usually comes out with the hook, and there it is. He signals to the bullpen to call on Loizaga. So the day is over for Rodon. He leaves with a 1-run lead. Play. We go back to 1979, the All-Star game.
Well, Dave Parker was a fantastic hitter, but he had a great arm. And you're going to look at these 2 throws in the 1979 All-Star game. That one to Ron Say, and here's another one later on in the game with Bruce Sutter in, Gary Carter making the tag. Man, congratulations to Dave Parker and what he accomplished in this game. He was some kind of player.
3 Gold Gloves, 7-time All-Star. Sad he's not around to enjoy his induction today. His son is giving the speech for him. So Rodon gives the Yankees 5 1/3. 3 solo home runs.
Any silver lining, at least he was here when it was announced.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so sad that he's not there.
Oh, 2.
And I don't know if in a situation like that you can say that, but at least he knew he was a Hall of Famer. Really good changeup there to Castellanos.
It's got a piece, fouled it off. Still 0-2. Phillies have won 4 of 5. And that's in a win streak right now, but the Phillies remain a half game back. McMahon gets a nice hop. 2 away. Real Muto 0 for 2, but he contributed on a unbelievable catch and tag on Bellinger at home plate. Showed some hops to get the high throw and then to apply the tag before Bellinger could touch home plate. And that play ended the 3rd inning, a double play, 8-2.
99 from Jonathan. And that ball had some really good sink and outstanding location. Showed a good changeup today as well. God, he is so important to this bullpen.
Squibbed right side and past the diving Chisholm. A base hit for Realmuto.
JT 6 for 8 in stolen bases, so you do have to be heads up with him on the bases. You cannot forget about him. And after I just bragged about the great sinker he threw down, he left one up and in the middle of the plate, and JT didn't hit it necessarily hard. Jazz does everything he can to get to this ball, but he's shading him up towards the middle, and it's just out of his reach. And another base hit for JT in the month of September, hitting .388 coming into today in the month of September or July.
There's Otto Kemp, 2 home runs in the game against Rodon. You know, you pretty much just summed it up there. You know, 1 pitch was down, 1 pitch was up, and that's what we've seen of Loizaga. The stuff is there. The consistency of the command, though, is not.
Well, pitchers will tell you the last thing to come is always the command when they come off injuries. The stuff can be there, the velocity can be there, but the command is the heart, because it's a game of repetition, and the repetition is gone for a certain period of time, and they're not comfortable in their mechanics.
First 15 games, he looked like Jonathan Loizaga. The last 11 games, not so much, with an 8.10 ERA. 2-1. Hits are even at 5. Yankees have a 4-3 lead, top of the 6th. Runner on first, 2 outs. Three and 1. First 81 games of the year, the Yankee bullpen 3.45 ERA. Their last 23 games, it has swelled to 7.11, more than double. Three and 2. That's going to release Realmuto at first.
Yeah, I like the idea of holding him on because most pitches that Jonathan throws come into a right-handed hitter, and there's a lot of balls pulled. So don't get behind JT because he's probably not going to hit a ball through that hole or to the first baseman where he can get a bigger jump, because a double could possibly score him, and holding him on might be the difference.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Got him. Big strikeout for Loaisiga. No runs a hit and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
He was a guy that seemed to be able to do it all. Led the league in runs 1 year, triples 1 year, led the league in homers and RBIs, led the league in walks. Just a brilliant career where he hit 351 home runs. A lifetime average of .292, a fantastic player, very instrumental in the success of the Philadelphia Phillies. You can see power to all fields. What a player.
Also not around to enjoy his special day. 15 big league seasons, Rookie of the Year with the Phillies in '64, AL MVP with the White Sox. He went from Richie Allen to Dick Allen to the Hall of Fame.
Cigarette.
Yeah.
Times have changed a little bit.
You think?
Same amount of homers as Bryce Harper, 351.
Dominguez takes upstairs as we start at the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox have just taken a 4-3 lead over the Dodgers on a Bregman 2-run home run. And Realmuto puts that away. Check out leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. CC with 251 wins. Ichiro, 3,089 hits. Didn't get to the big leagues till he was 27. Played in Japan before that. Billy Wagner, 422 saves, 7-time All-Star. Dave Parker and Dick Allen. Pretty good class. Also want to give some love to Tom Hamilton, longtime broadcaster on the radio side with the Cleveland franchise versus the Indians, and now the Guardians. He was given Hall of Fame status yesterday. The broadcasters come in yesterday. What a great guy. McMahon swings and misses, 0-2. Tanner Banks, one of the 2 lefties. He's ready. He's been throwing. And another hit batter. He gets McMahon, who has not been able to retire. 2 for 2 now, a hit by pitch. So 3 hit batters for Wheeler.
You know, the interesting thing with this is another sweeper. He does not throw a lot of sweepers to left-handers, but for whatever reason, he has done that today. And it's led to 2 hit batters on the sweeper and 1 on the cutter. And you see Caleb Coffin calling the bullpen, find out if somebody's ready down there. As he nears 100 pitches, he's at 98.
Volpe 0 for 2 today. 0-1. He takes a lot of pride in going deep in games, doesn't he, Joe?
Who's that?
Wheeler?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he never wants to come out. And usually he's so efficient because he doesn't give up a lot of hits. He doesn't walk people. He's given a number of free base runners today, which has led to the 4 runs. I mean, a big part of the 2nd inning for the Yankees, the hit by pitch, the walks. But he usually goes at least 6 all the time.
17 games, he's gone 6 or more innings. McMahon leads off first. 2 stolen bases while with the Rockies.
Looks like McMahon's got a little blood on that left knee, the knee that he seems to tuck under when he slides. Or he spilled some Gatorade, one or the other.
Two and 2 on Anthony.
Since 2020, you see the ERA by Zack Wheeler and how good he has been. Lost the Cy Young to Corbin Burns one year, and you see how good Corbin Burns. He's hurt now, having Tommy John.
And Volpe down on strikes. You know, when you look at wins above replacement, Joe, since 2020, Wheeler leads all pitchers at 30.5. Number 2 is Fried at 22.1, so 8 more wins.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Yeah. Well, that looks like it's going to do it for Wheeler. You've got Wells coming up, so Rob Thompson's going to go to the left-hander. This is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By Untuckit. Find the perfect fit today at untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide. And by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
I like that picture, Michael.
Bet you do.
Yeah, that was a good picture.
Zack Wheeler did not seem overly thrilled about being lifted from the game as they turn to Tanner Banks to face Austin Wells. And see the average against left-handed batters, 174.
He uses his slider a lot, and it's really hard. It's up to 90 miles an hour. Uses it up in the zone a lot. Sinker, four-seamer, changeup. A lot of pitches for a reliever.
Banks is 33 years old, as you see Weaver getting ready. Banks in his 4th big league season. On Friday, gave up a hit to Goldschmidt, but struck out Wells and picked up the win after Realmuto's home run. Not only does he hold left-handed batters to a 174 batting average, but a 275 slugging percentage.
Yeah, their left-handed relievers are really good against lefties. Strom is really good too. It's like he's having a hard time with the landing area. He's trying to dig it out a little bit.
You know, we're closing in on the trade deadline, Joe. Last year, the Phillies got him from the White Sox for minor leaguer William Bergolla. And in one day, he moved up 39.5 games in the standings.
How many did McMahon move up? I mean, that had to be pretty substantial, too.
We'll look at my MLB app right now.
I mean, it's got to be close to 30, at least 30.
Let's see.
The Yankees have 56 wins.
The Rockies are 27-7.
They had 26 yesterday. Or 20. What are they, 27? He moved up 29 games.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good jump.
But Banks does say, hold my beer. 39.5 games he jumped. 2-2. Cincinnati just beat Tampa Bay 2-1. The Rays have really struggled. And now you're hearing, Joe, that they might be in trade mode.
Yeah,
a lot of people want Yandy Diaz.
The good thing about them is where they're playing this week, where they're playing the Yankees, one of the teams that they would be chasing in the wild card. So they'll get a pretty good idea of where things sit, you would think, after those 4 days.
And Wells works a walk against Banks. So Wells is 0 for 0 because he has a sac fly and 2 walks. And that's going to bring up Grisham. 1-0 on Grisham. Grisham is 1 for 3, couple of strikeouts, sandwiching an RBI single to right. McMahon's at second, Wells is at first. Yankees lead 4-3. Ground ball, second base, Wilson gets Grisham, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. We go to the 7th here in the Bronx. This is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Yankees turn to Luke Weaver after Loiza came on to get the final 2 outs in the 6th. Last 8 appearances, Weaver has had problems keeping the ball in the ballpark. 4 home runs. Strikeout per inning for Luke with 11 walks. And he'll face the bottom third of the order. How will the Yankees get these final 9 outs as they hold on to a 1-run lead?
Well, I think they're hoping that Luke gets through this inning, and then you go to Tim Hill versus the left-handers, and then it sets up for Devin Williams. So each one of these relievers has to do his job before. If you look at his last 5 appearances, the 4 before the outing on Friday had been scoreless, all multiple innings.
1-0 to Sosa. Sosa 1 for 2 against Rodon. Singled off Rodon's glove in the 5th, struck out in the 2nd. Chisholm shades up the middle for the righty swinging Sosa. Pitch outside, 2-0. Bryson Stott is on deck to pinch hit for Weston Wilson. Tried to tie it up with that swing, 2-1.
Luke Weaver seems to have so much success when he can live on the top of the zone with the 4-seamer and the cutter.
Three and 1. All the Yankee scoring came in that 2nd inning. Chase ball 4 there, and the count is 3-2. And here's the payoff. Again, he chased another pitch out of the zone, and Sosa down on strikes. Come out to Yankee Stadium on Wednesday, July 30th, when the Yankees take on the Rays in an important divisional matchup. It's Yankees Cowboy Hat Night. First 18,000 guests 21 and older receive a Yankees Cowboy Hat courtesy of Budweiser. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. So Wilson was 0 for 1 with a walk while in there. He started. We told you the lefties they have on the bench, so you'll see Rob Thompson start to empty them.
2 for 8 in the series, had 2 RBIs on Friday night.
Brandon Marsh comes out on deck to pinch hit for Rojas. The 0-1. The 1-1. High fly ball, right field, Bellinger back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. He makes the play. Yankees held their breath, but Bellinger used up all the real estate to haul it in for out number 2.
Yeah, it looked like that pitch just had Bryson Stott out front a little bit, and you see Cody Bellinger put his arm out to feel for the wall, I'm okay, I'm okay. Just a really, really good outfielder, and it looks like it's a changeup that's down and in, which is really dangerous, and you could see Luke's like, really? And then he realizes it's an out and said, okay.
So here's Marsh pinch hitting for Rojas, who struck out twice against Rodon. Announced crowd of 45,612 here at the stadium today. 3 huge crowds for the Yankees in the Phillies series. 2 outs in the 7th. One and 0. On Marsh. On deck is Trey Turner. 4-3 Yankees, top of the 7th, trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Two and 1. Support America's military and first responder heroes. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. Fly ball center field. Grisham puts it away. A strong 1-2-3 inning for Luke Weaver as he retires the Phillies in order. Paul Goldschmidt pinch hitting for Ben Rice as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch outside. Tanner Banks still in. 9 plate appearances as a pinch hitter for Goldie, and he has reached 6 times. Single, a home run, and 4 walks.
And that's what he loves to do to right-handers. He loves to throw that slider up and into him a lot. And that's pretty amazing to me. In 9 plate appearances, he's been on 6 times as a pincher. It's probably not something he's done a ton in his career. So used to being a starter.
In career, as you see, just 35 plate appearances. Fly ball right field. 1 down. Bellinger, ferocious swing, fouls it back. Congratulations to Cody Bellinger on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. 7 games since the All-Star break, 267, 3 home runs, 4 ribbies, an OPS of 924. Today he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Line drive. Oh, what a play by Kemp for the 2nd out. Otto Kemp take a base hit away from Bellinger.
Yeah, because he's left-handed, he's off the line a little bit, almost playing in the hole where a shortstop would play, and he lays out and makes his play. He's had a huge day. 2 home runs, an outstanding play there at third base before Stanton comes up. Gives Banks the option to pitch around Stanton if he wants to, or gets behind now.
And there's a strike to Stanton. Stanton's 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. One and 1. Jordan Romano up in the Phillies bullpen. The bottom of the 7th inning, Yankees leading by 1, 4-3. East team with 5 hits.
That tells me that he's coming in to start the inning, Michael. That he's pitching now. And if he wasn't, I think he would get up when Luke Weaver went back out, because he was up in case they got to Schwarber in that 7th inning.
Would you let Weaver stay in the face turn?
No, I think I would go right to Tim Hill, because eventually a lefty's going to have to face a righty anyway.
High fly ball. Left center. Marsh is in there and puts it away. as Banks retires the Yankees in order, and we go to the 8th. On Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, Joe was right. They do bring in Tim Hill to start the inning, so the Hyundai scoreboard shows the Yankees up 4-3. And he'll face the top of the order, starting with the righty swinging Trey Turner, and then 2 lefties after that. And a strike to Turner, who's 0 for 3.
I think relievers, too, are more comfortable starting their own innings opposed to coming in the middle of innings. And I think that's one of the reasons.
High fly ball, right field. Bellinger on the run, on the track, makes the play. A lot of action out there.
Yeah, he has. That Aaron Boone went right to Tim Hill instead of waiting for Schwarber. It also gives him a hitter to get ready before he gets to this tandem of hitters that have a ton of power. Of his 36 homers, 14 of them off of left-handers for Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber is 0 for 3, all those 3 at-bats against Rodon. You see Hamilton is up. They probably bring in Hamilton for Castellanos.
Now they probably would, yes.
He's one of the best lefty-on-lefty hitters in the game. You see those numbers.
And I think it's important that he changes his eye level because he doesn't throw a lot of breaking balls. So he's got to throw some sinkers down and in and some of them up above the zone. See if he can get some chase.
2-1 on Schwarber. Now Schwarber's been better against left-handers since last season, Joe. He doesn't remember who it came from, but he heard about a former lefty hitter who did well against Randy Johnson, and the mantra struck with him: you have to be prepared to die.
I think that came from facing Randy Johnson in the All-Star game.
Yep, that's Kruk, right?
Yes, to our left up in the booth here. He doesn't budge a bit. I mean, he stands there. It's the same stance, the same stride, everything versus right-handers and left-handers.
The 2-2 outside, 3-2. Schwarber is 5 for 13 in this 3-game set. That one is ripped foul. And Cody makes a friend. Nice Judge jersey.
Yeah, probably disappointed that Aaron's not in the lineup, but he got a ball today. How about that?
Foul back. Line to right field, and it's caught by Bellinger.
Tell you what, that bit of sink that he gets on, all that sink that he gets on his fastball probably keeps him from getting this ball in the air, because if he gets in the air, it is way back. And it's a 4-4 game. You're going to see what Harper did here yesterday on this little cutter that did not get inside the long home run that he has hit. And he's hit 5 home runs since the break. He has been hot like Schwarber.
And Harper grounds one to Volpe. And Tim Hill does what Tim Hill does, and he gets the Phillies in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. For a new season of the animated series Bronx Buds, presented by HexClad. Today, immediately following Yankees coverage, catch up on all episodes of Season 1 Then on August 9th, don't miss all new adventures of Season 2 around the Big Apple, streaming exclusively on the Gotham Sports app. Crowd of 45,612 here at the ballpark. And Matt Strom will come on to face Chisholm, Dominguez, and Ryan McMahon.
Gets a ton of chase, Michael. Top 2%, about 37%. And the opposite of Tim Hill, only about 25% ground ball. And you would think that would be dangerous in Philly, a ballpark where the ball flies, but he has done a really good job for them. It's closing time, Michael.
Yep. Stott knocks it down, stays with it, and gets Chisholm. Check out the upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. 4 games against Tampa Bay coming in tomorrow night, and then ending on Thursday at 1:05. Then the Yankees hit the road again. 3 games against the Marlins in Miami, and then 3 games against the Rangers. We're playing much better baseball Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in Arlington. And then the Astros come to town, and Saturday is Old Timers Day. Here's Dominguez. Strom has not given up a run since June 25th. 9 straight scoreless appearances since June 29th. 9 innings, 2 hits, no runs.
Him and Kirkering pretty much share the closing duties depending on where they are in the lineup. If there's a lot of lefties or a lot of righties. Alvarado, who is still suspended, should be back in August. Might assume that role, but he's not eligible for the playoffs.
Looped into right field. Castellanos on the run. He's going to play it on a hop. And Dominguez with a 1-out single. He has 14 stolen bases.
Gets jammed by this 4-seamer that cuts a little bit, and he's able to hit it to right field in front of Castellanos. And Castellanos made the right decision, not trying to dive for this ball, just letting it be a single. Opportunity to score another run, which I think would be really important for the Yankees in this situation. We've talked about how many home runs Philly has hit second half of the season, #1 in baseball.
Detroit leading Toronto 10-3, top of the 9th inning. So if that score holds and the Yankees hold on, they could shave a game off that lead, which is 6.5 coming into today. Oh, 2. McMahon 2 for 2 and hit by a pitch.
It was always a question I was asked, you know, do you watch the scoreboard? Do you watch? I'm like, it is impossible not to watch the scoreboard. It's right in front of you all the time, no matter where you are in any stadium. And you're a baseball fan, and you want to know what's happening, and you want good things for your club. I used to laugh at the question. Of course I do. I watch it from day 1 all the way through day 162.
Runner goes. Strike 3, throw to second, not in time. And it gets away from Sosa. So that's the 15th stolen base for Dominguez as McMahon strikes out.
Yeah, he gets a really good jump here. And JT, he likes to bounce the ball, but he short hopped Sosa where he wasn't able to come up with it. And he actually bounces it on purpose. This is not an accident. And he was actually too short of a hop, and he's not able to come up with it. Dominguez, a lot of times he slides so hard that he almost comes off the bag. He does a good job of holding on. Problem is Sosa didn't have the ball.
Joe, why does he bounce it?
He's just comfortable doing it, and it's something that they practice because what ends up usually happening is it's a pretty low throw. There aren't a lot of high throws when you bounce the ball, and if you give him a long enough hop like you do a first baseman, it's an easy play, a tag play.
2. 2-0 on Anthony Volpe. Anthony is 0 for 3 this afternoon.
He's really the only catcher that I know that really does it on purpose, but he does it a lot and has been successful.
Two and one. Runner at second base. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 4-3 Yankees over the Phils. Now 2-2 on the ground ball foul. Dominguez leads off second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ground ball, second base. Stop. Gets Volpe. A scoreless inning for Straub. The Yankees turn to Devin Williams to try to close it out. Joe, these are the clues.
I got it. All right, Ronald Torres.
The Tonight Show. What a story that was.
Oh, what a player he was. I've always thought that he would have made a fantastic coach because he was always prepared. He took his glove for third base, shortstop, second base, would take outfield balls. I mean, he took them everywhere. And I remember one year we opened up in Tampa, and I don't remember what year it was, but he had the first home run of the year. I mean, this is 5'3", 140 pounds.
Well, the numbers with the Yankees were very good.
Oh, he was great. I mean, he was just a great role player that you could count on every day. That was 2017. I think we lost our first 2 games in Tampa. We opened up, and he ended up hitting the first home run of the year, and I was like, really? We had some sluggers, too.
Devin Williams comes on, and he gets a swing and a miss by Castellanos. Castellanos, Realmuto, and Kemp in the 9th as the Yankees try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. You see the numbers Realmuto or Castellanos has against Williams. 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts.
Interesting enough, that day in 2017, here's a shocker. CeCe threw 5 shutout innings for the win. This is probably a really tough at bat for Castellanos because he chases so much and he's so aggressive as a hitter. And Devin's really good at throwing that changeup below the zone and the fastball above the zone. And it's probably a pretty high chase rate.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Castellanos down on strikes. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. By Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. And by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. So here's the Phillies catcher against Devin Williams. Outside.
Let's see how this works out, Michael. I have him as a .080 versus changeups this year. Devin Williams' best pitch. He starts him off with a heater.
And another one. Judge on the IL is a spectator for the next 10 days. And he's hoping to get right back into the lineup after that. High fly ball. Right center. Backing up is Grisham, and he makes the play. The Yankees are an out away. Fans after the final out get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews. We'll hear from the manager. Plus, a look ahead to the series with the Rays. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Here's Otto Kemp. Solo home run in the second, solo home run in the fifth, struck out in the sixth. Phillies down to their final out. And a strike.
Young man's had quite a day. A couple solo homers, a great play off of Bellinger, a diving catch on a line drive.
One and one. And the Yankees a strike away.
Just an outstanding changeup here. There's the one for the strike. Now he has a couple shots of throwing a fastball up or that changeup below the zone, making him chase, not giving him anything to hit for the next couple pitches.
And the pitch. 2-2. McMahon deep at third, close to the line. Chisholm shades up the middle. Outfield straight away. Just stays alive with the foul ball. Goldschmidt way off the line at first for the righty swinging Kemp.
I always think it's funny where the fans react to that because they don't see the foul ball and they think it's strike three. Big cheer goes up.
3-2 on Kemp. Sosa on deck. Williams sets. And the 3-2. Got him. Now they can cheer. A foul ball held on to by Wells. And the Yankees win 4-3 to salvage the final game of this three-game set.
Well, all the runs today were scored in the second inning, Michael, when you think about it, or most of them, when the Yankees got all four in the second inning after Rodon gave up 2 solo homers, and they did it by putting together walks and hit by pitch and a big hit by McMahon. And the bullpen does a fantastic job with Devin Williams finishing off the hot Phillies.
Rodon gets his 11th win. The Yankee bullpen outstanding today after struggling for about a month or so. Yankees needed this win. Toronto ends up